Okay guys, this is going to be a quick little test on COMODO Internet Security. It's version 7. This is the release candidate. So I know I've been looking on the forums and it sounds like, from what I've been reading, the developers are kind of antsy and want to push this out. Which personally I think, I mean, it looks pretty solid. I've kind of played around with it just a little bit and it seems very solid. So I guess I do think that it is pretty much ready for the field, but you know, it's almost that timeline where I think it might be a little bit better if it would sit in the release candidate stage for at least a couple more weeks, which I assume they're going to do. I mean, they've usually been pretty good with not rushing things. So what we're going to do today is we're going to throw some links at it, and then I have a pack of malware here that we're going to basically see how much it can detect of that, and then we're going to run the stuff that it didn't detect against, or didn't detect, and we're going to run it against COMODO and see how its defenses fare against that. So we'll start out with some links here. Alright, I just want to make sure. Yes, I am using VirtualBox, people. Tell me how bad it is, and granted, yeah, it's not my favorite either, but you know what? I'm not willing to spend $300 on an actual machine here, so, or VMware, I should say. So let's try this link right here. See what we get. This looks like it's supposed to be a worm. Everything's enabled, as you can see, and I just updated this a couple minutes ago. Just want to make sure my VPN's online. Okay, good. Okay, so let's start the test. Okay, so it looks like we have one that wants to run. Smart screen blocked it. Non-safe file. Looks like it's downloading. Turn off the smart screen filter here because don't need that to be interfering here. Okay. Alright, so COMODO has detected one. We will go ahead and clean it ourselves. And it stopped it. Awesome. Okay, next one. Let's see, let's do a Trojan here. So we're going to pick just a generous amount of links out of the malware domain list, and then we'll move on to malcode and see what they can do. Just get a variety of links here. Okay, so that one's detected. And of course it's not working because it was blocked, which is good. I don't know if this one ran or not. We'll see. I don't think it did. We'll run it again. Trojan dropper. That was fun. Dead. And this looks like it could be some variation of CryptoLocker here. Okay, so it looks like it might have been the same one and it didn't work. So, okay. Let's see if we can get this one to work. No, it didn't work. It'd be nice if we get one of these versions of CryptoLocker to work. Oh, alright. Video.exe. Yeah, I'm going to download something like that. That sounds safe. So, nothing. Alright, that one worked. Let's try this one right here. Alright, one more and then we're going to move on to the malware domain list. Or the, sorry, malcode. Go over there. Let's try this one. And that was stopped. Good. Alright, so let's go on to malcode and see what we get from them. Alright, so that one was stopped. It's not going to run, so we'll just cancel that. Try this one. Alright, that one was stopped too. I have to say, COMODO has really improved their signatures over the years. It is amazing at how good their signatures are. And that one was stopped. We try to run it. It's been moved. You can't do anything. It's dead. Awesome. That is really good. Alright, it's just picking up on the stuff that I tried to retry downloading. Okay, so let's try this one. I'm thinking we'll do like 2 more links or so, and then I'll probably be good. Alright, that one was stopped because I'm not getting through any of these. None of these are getting through. I don't think that any of them are going to get through because I'm getting farther down the list, and typically the farther you get down the list, it's older links, and well, they're usually already detected. So I'll try this one, and then we're going to move on to the malware pack. I was kind of looking forward to seeing the new web filter in action, but so far I really can't get that. Oh, what the heck, we'll try one more. It sucks you in. Like a drug. Yes, run it. Okay, so that one was isolated as partially limited. Alright. So, interesting. That was from earlier. Let's see what it's doing here. What do we got? Okay, so we do have some stuff running in there. Okay. I should really put kill switch on here. Let's go and do that right now. Shouldn't take too long. I didn't think it was going to take too long. But, you know, what can you do? Well, I am on a VPN right now, so that's why things are a little bit slower. So, if you guys don't want to watch all this, then you can go ahead and just fast forward it. Feel free. Any parts that you feel boring or don't feel necessary to watch, it's your decision. It should be almost done downloading, if I remember correctly. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now we can actually see what is going on in our process, and you can see we have one process running as partially limited. So, and that could be adware, we don't really know what it is. But what I'll do now is let's run a quick scan with COMODO here, see if it finds anything. Okay, and that was a really quick scan. I love that. They've really improved their scan times, it looks like, with this new version. So that is really, really good. Okay, so okay, it says 2 unrecognized files here. Let's edit explorer.exe is unrecognized. Okay, obviously whatever it was tried to access Explorer too, if I understand that correctly. All right, so let me go ahead and we're going to disable the antivirus here temporarily while I extract these to the desktop. That's what I need to do. This. Okay. All right. Now this is from the 23rd. I know it's a couple days old, but I'm kind of short on time today, and I want to get this out so that you guys can, you know, take a look at it. But yeah, it's still new enough to the point where we'll still get some of them that aren't going to be detected. So let's do a scan of COMODO on this folder, and we're going to go ahead, see what it detects, and then once it's all done, we'll remove it and look at the folder, see what we got left. And whatever we have left, we're going to go ahead and run. So this looks like it's going pretty good. Let's see, what can we talk about while this is doing this? New with version 7. Well, they have, this is coming right from the forums here, they have introduced something called virus scope. I think that's what it's called, virus cope. Don't know exactly how you guys are going to pronounce that. I'm just going to call it virus scope for right now. And supposedly what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to have the ability to track changes that viruses have done to your computer or unauthorized programs, and actually reverse them when a signature comes out, if I'm understanding that correctly on how it works from what I've read. Someone can go ahead and comment on the video if they know a little bit more. I suppose the moderators and developers would know a lot more about it than I would, considering they have a lot more time and they actually work with the program, as I really don't have that much time to sit here and sift through the program all day long. So they've added also, as I've said earlier, web filtering. They've added a URL list, which is really nice. Personally, I don't know if it's necessary for COMODO to have a URL filtering system, just because of the sandbox is so powerful in itself. With the full virtualization and stuff like that, it seems like a little redundant when it comes to security. I mean, if you have a signature for something, you know, I guess you really need that web filter to block it also. But I understand that there are URLs out there that are bad that could steal your identity and stuff like that, and I guess that's probably what they're trying to go for. So bottom line about the URL filtering, yeah, I like it. It is a good feature. You know, was it a deal breaker for me on COMODO? No, absolutely not. But it is a nice feature to have, so thumbs up to you guys for adding that finally here. So let's see, what else do we got? This is going a little slower than I expected. And that's really, I guess that's really the biggest changes with COMODO, is that virus scope, and then you got the URL filtering. So just go ahead and wait for this to complete. And like I said, the scan times have really been impressive. I'm really impressed with the scan times and how they have improved a lot. Now, last time I remember when I tested version 6, it seemed that the cleanup process took quite a while. It didn't really seem as fast as I'd like it to be, especially for just removing files like this. So we'll see this time, maybe it's the cleanup process will go a lot faster too. I can only hope. I've never actually tried to scan a pack of malware yet with this program. I've only thrown a couple links at it just to see how it reacts. Oh, and as I was reading last night, supposedly, and I noticed this too, the file submission portion of COMODO 6 has always not worked properly at all. And that appears to be fixed from what I've read on the forums on version 7. So that's also a good sign. And that's also very nice because I know there's times when I was trying to submit files and of course it doesn't work. How can COMODO whitelist certain things if their users can't submit files to them using the program? So that's really good to hear that they've actually got that working now, and this sounds like it's a really, really sound program. Now, I guess one of my chief complaints about COMODO ever since version, I think it was 5. It was one of the later versions of 5. When they introduced the Geek Buddy service, I like the fact that you're giving services to people that necessarily aren't so tech savvy, but it's hard to really kind of phrase this right here. But for the people who are tech savvy, installing that by default or just having it so kind of hidden in there, I really kind of wish you'd have a separate page for the Geek Buddy service. I mean, I guess it's not a deal breaker for me and it's not a huge deal, but I guess if I was writing the program, or I was designing the program, I should say, I would probably put a separate page for the installation of Geek Buddy, just in the installation procedure. Because, and especially with those alerts that keep popping up, like you just saw earlier in the test, I mean, I know you guys offer Geek Buddy service, but I don't need the service. I mean, that's great you offer it, and I've told people about it, and I've said that, you go ahead and buy it. It's a great service, but I don't like the fact that it's being pushed on everybody here. And I wish there was just a setting in the program itself that you could also, like a checkbox saying, do not show any Geek Buddy alerts at all. Now that would be great right there. And maybe it is in here, and I haven't seen it yet, but that would really just be a great add-on to the program itself, if you could just do that. I mean, otherwise, COMODO has this program has been wonderful for the past 3 years. I think I've used it here. I've started at version 5, and I was really impressed with everything and how it really seemed, because I used to be a McAfee user years ago, and recently they've really just taken a nosedive in performance and ability to detect malware. So then I was looking for a new one, and I found COMODO, and it really just kind of reminded me of the earlier days of McAfee, when it was a solid program. Obviously times have changed and we need new features, so it's a little bit different, but the relative aspect of the program, the way it alerts you to everything, and lets you make the decision as the user instead of it trying to constantly make every single decision. I'll be able to talk eventually today. That really impressed me right there. Okay, so it looks like we are at 99%. All right. So, and here once again the Geek Buddy alerts. I know you can tick this little box down here, but I really wish we could just turn it off right away before I actually have to get these alerts, and it would just quarantine stuff. So when I set people's computers up and I set them up to be secure, I kind of wish that they don't have to click anything and that it takes care of itself. So I'm going to say no, I'll clean the threats myself. You can see it's detected a whole bunch of stuff here: Trojans, worms. Let's see, a couple packed malware, email worms, backdoors, viruses. Oh, it's got a whole slew of stuff here. So we're going to select, let's see the options we got. We're going to select clean, apply selected actions. Okay, now that is really nice. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Alright guys, I'm sorry I had to cut that out there. I messed up and forgot to show you how much was left in the folder, or I should say how much was in the folder before we started the test. So yeah, I had to re-extract it and redo the scan and stuff like that. There were 500 samples in there as we started, or before we started the test. So I'm now removing all of the samples that COMODO has found after completing the scan. Okay, so the scan or the removal process has completed here, as you can see. And let's pull that back up. Okay, so then you can see we have 130 files remaining, and we originally started with 500. Let's grab my little handy dandy calculator here and go 500 minus 130, 70 divided by 500. That looks like a 74% detection ratio. Not bad at all. That's about average right there. It seemed to perform a lot better on the URL test, but it could be a different type of malware. So let's take a look at what we got in here. So I got a fair amount left, but remember this is a release candidate still, so it's still under beta testing. Let me go ahead and re-enable my real-time protection. Alright, so that's back on there. And let's run one more scan with COMODO just to make sure it got everything. Sometimes it needs a second opinion. Alright, so it looks like it has found two things. Let's go ahead and remove those. And alright, that was quick. Okay, so now let's go in here and we'll take a look at what we got. Real-time protection, a chance to catch anything. Alright, so we're going to pick about 15 or so samples out of here and go ahead and see how it does. Everything's at default. As you can see, everything's enabled right here. So let's start beginning the test. Okay, we'll go run isolated. And I suppose I should get kill switch open here so we can actually see what's going on. Okay, watch activity. There we go. Let's see, where is that? There it is. Alright. And then let's see, we want to show trusted processes. Alright. Let's move on to this one right here. Run isolated. Run isolated. I'm just choosing the default option. That's all I'm doing here. Okay, so that one looks like it was caught by the AV actually. Okay, so that was isolated. Okay, so that was isolated too. On this one here. Forget about that one. Not going to sit around and wait for a download to complete. Yeah, I think I've gone over 15 here, but just trying to see. We're just getting a feel of the program here. That's all we're doing. Seeing how it does. Okay, let's close that. I have no idea what this thing is. Okay. I'll isolate it again. Okay, looks like that one was caught by the AV. So far I have to say COMODO appears to be doing very well. Okay. So, we'll run one more here, and then I think what we're going to do is I'm going to run, well, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, restart the computer, and then run a quick scan with COMODO, see what it finds, and then run a, well, maybe I'll run a full system scan, we'll see. But either way, I'm going to restart the computer quick to clear out the sandbox, and then we'll be back here. So. Now looks like I might have some editing to do on this video. Alright. So. Got 22 unrecognized files. Let's start a full system scan. We'll just see how long it's going to take here. I'm estimating it won't take too long. While that's doing that, I'm going to go get a copy of Malwarebytes and Hitman Pro and see what they find. Yeah, so far this video is a lot longer than I anticipated it being, but like I said, it's not really a review, it's more of just a seeing how well COMODO performs. Seeing if there's any bugs, anything of that sort. Okay, so let's install Malwarebytes. They just recently started hosting their files from their website, so that's pretty nice. Okay. Update them. Yeah, the scan times here are super impressive. I mean, I don't know if it's just my computer here. I know it's a really powerful computer, but man, so far I'm really impressed. Just can't get over how fast they are. Grab a copy of Hitman Pro, I think, too. And everything's going pretty fast here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. Malware's updated. Okay, we're just waiting for this full scan to complete. Got Hitman Pro downloading here. Okay, so it looks like it found one in temporary internet files. I suppose I can delete this. Oh, and that's it. So, found one in temporary internet files, which isn't a huge deal. So, but we'll go ahead and remove it. Okay, so that's been removed. Now, let's go ahead and run a quick scan with Malwarebytes and see what that finds. And then we'll also run a quick scan with Hitman Pro here and see what that finds. So let's go next. Yep. One-time scan. Alright. So, see what these two programs find here. Okay, so it looks like Malwarebytes is up to 3 objects. And I did not clear out the temp files here, so I'm just trying to get an idea of what the detection rates are and stuff like that. Any bugs? I've been over it multiple times, I guess. Okay, so it looks like Hitman Pro found a Trojan here. Forgot to empty the recycle bin. My bad. Let's see. We'll probably rerun the scan here. If we can. Yeah, just re-download it. Yeah, just go re-download it. I don't feel like searching for it. Okay, so it looks like Malwarebytes is up to 4. And now, I guess, well, this may seem to be a very poor result. let's first of all, let's see what it says for results. Okay, so we got 5 infected objects according to Malwarebytes, and it looks like we have some in app data, and it looks like we have one's in a temporary folder, so that's not a big deal. But this Trojan in program data kind of scares me, and the same thing with these right here. So, well, except for that one. But yeah, these 3 right here are really the ones that are kind of worry me a little bit, I guess. Now, granted, I don't think they're running right now. Let me take a look at kill switch. Let's open kill switch up and see if they're running. Because malware really only, to my knowledge, can harm your computer if it's actually running. If it has a process running, or if it's somehow attached to another process. So let's see here. Let's go to show untrusted. Yeah, so unless this somehow hooked itself into or injected code into explorer.exe, which that's not the correct path for explorer.exe, it really couldn't. It can't really do any damage right now. What I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna rescan with Hitman Pro here because I made that little oopsie. And we can go ahead and we'll just leave that up there. Okay, we'll remove it. There we go. Okay, so that's been removed, and we're just waiting on Hitman Pro now. I didn't restart it yet, so that's why it hasn't been removed, but you get the drift. Alright, so we got explorer.exe. Okay, so yeah, everything looks pretty much the same as the Malwarebytes test, except for this right here. This is supposed to be a worm in-app data, which is not exactly good. So otherwise, overall, COMODO, for bugs and stuff like that, you did really decently on this test. This is kind of a torture test right here, but overall it worked out really well. I think that if you were to up the sandbox level to, let's say, something like, okay, go with it. All right. I think if you were to up the sandbox level to at least limited, that a lot of this stuff would have been prevented, such as getting into the system. Now, granted, like I said earlier, it wasn't allowed to run, which is really, really good. And as of right now, none of it is running on the system. The system is still quite usable. So this is really a thumbs up for you guys. So I mean, take my criticism here with a grain of salt, because this system right now was put a lot of malware was thrown against this system, and it performed very well, regardless of the fact that it had a few pieces of malware left over on the system that COMODO did not detect. That virus scope, like I said, would have eventually, they would have came out with a signature with them most likely, and it would have been detected. This was very new malware. All the links that I threw at it were 0 day, meaning that they came out today. Exception, with the exception for a few. And then the malware pack that I had is 2 days old. So there's still some in there that weren't detected. So yeah, very good job, you guys. Keep up the good work. I'll post this to YouTube now, and if you've noticed anything in here that I did wrong, please let me know, or anything that you want me to retest, let me know, and I can go ahead and put another video out there. I've been testing a certain component, or if they want me to change its setting and try testing against some links again, I can certainly do that. So, till next time, see you, bye.